Hey everybody, it is the Wednesday show and pretty exciting day. We are 2-1 in Cleveland and we have a pretty exciting show today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off obviously with our PFF segment. We're going to get right into that this week and we're going to do a giveaway, and we're going to do a giveaway for the Victory Monday mug. Right? So exciting time. Mike, my co-host, as always, is with me. Bonzo1273. You know him well on Twitter. Mike, I see you're wearing the away hat today, which I love.
You're on the road.
Yeah, we're on the road, ready to rock. Tell me, man, what are we thinking for Minnesota?
It's an interesting one. I found it humorous today. I can't remember who asked him the question, and then Grossi followed up with, could you tell me a good restaurant in the area? But one of the guys asked him if he was going to go out to dinner with anybody, and he's like, guys, it's not a field trip. It's a business trip. Like we're going to win a game and go 1-0. So I found that pretty comical. But
What a
point being, it's probably the best homecoming matchup of the weekend. And
Yeah,
I hated to see the news that Newsom is out.
yeah,
You hate to lose a guy, and especially someone like Greg that, I mean, he's been playing lights out. So, I mean, the good thing is they didn't put him on the IR. He's week to week. Hopefully that's not Denzel's week to week, but I think Greedy steps up. I think we'll be okay there. But I feel like every time we turn around, somebody's getting hurt. And I guess the only positive is that up to now, knock on wood, it's just been, some minor things, if you will, where we're only talking a couple games, 3 games at the most, maybe for Jarvis. But I feel good about the game. To be honest with you, I think I think this week we will see if last week's defense, excuse me, is what we should expect going forward, or if that defensive effort was just you know part of dealing with a rookie quarterback and a horrible offensive line. So I'm hoping it's the first of the two. I feel good when we get to these scores. I think you're going to feel good, but
nice.
yeah, I'm I think we win. I just, as far as how much, I'm not sure yet. How about you?
I'm a bit nervous about this one,
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. They're the PFFs are going to be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm
yeah,
also looking forward to them on the Viking side, which is they've got a good offense and they're going to throw the ball.
yeah,
They ain't going to mess around with this not chipping Miles Garrett and letting him go off on a field day again.
yeah.
So they're going to throw. Greg Newsom's out. Do we have the official word on what it is and how long?
Just a calf, and week to week said it wasn't something that they were gonna put him on the IR.
Okay.
Um, so they just designated it as week to week. But and correct me if I'm wrong, and it's the reason why I brought it up earlier. But wasn't Denzel week to week, and he, or is it Teller? One of them was week to week, if you remember. I think it was Teller. Remember, with the ankle, and they didn't put him on the IR. It was week to week,
Teller, yeah.
and it wound up being like 4 weeks. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I would think that if it was, they would have thrown him on the IR. But man, these strains and pulls, they're popping up everywhere this year.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know if it's a situation where it was like they didn't have enough preseason, they didn't get enough game reps. I mean, but who knows? You could get hurt
yeah,
like in the preseason too, So it's like it's hard to tell. It really is, and it's like I mean, it could just be football. That's what my dad says. I always get mad when our players get injured, and our rookies always seem to get injured too.
yeah,
Like really going back, think about the last rookie who played like every game without getting injured at all. I mean,
Yeah, very true.
it's pretty ridiculous. Um, so what my dad says is like, hey, it's football.
Yeah,
Football
it really
happens.
is. Yeah, next man up mentality.
I'm tweeting out the Wednesday show is live right now.
Oh yeah, we gotta send that
I
out.
always forget to send out our tweet. I'm just gonna send it out without any without any image. Uh, so let me give a quick update really quick before we get into the whole before we get into the whole PFFs. So as you guys may remember, for a long time we had dogwoofs.com. That was a kind of a passion project by John Schlegel of the Schlegel Law Firm, and he's kind of retooled it a little bit to help us with the giveaways now. So anybody who's used to like video games is used to like a DKP system, which is like, hey, you show up. The more times you show up to play, the more points you get. You can then cash in those points for chances to get items or prizes. So that is the case here as well. Um, and then John, I think I have you set up as mod, right? Let me go ahead and mod you there, John. So if you see any of the if you see any of these guys out there like this, any of the spam out there, just please get rid of it for me, John. I just upgraded you on this particular account to mod as well. So if
There's always one.
yeah, it's like it's pretty amazing.
And it's weird that this has been the theme for like a couple of weeks in a row, but
It's weird. It seems like it could be like that one particular Ravens guy, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, maybe.
Uh, there we go. I was looking for the button. There's one particular button, hide user on this channel. I couldn't find it. But I mean, there's like 15 people in here. Like what a loser. Okay. Yeah, thanks, John. Keep an eye on that. So if you head over to dogwoofs.com, you can log in, and then every time you show up for a show, we can have a live show going on, and then you get your points, and then you can cash in those points for prizes. So today we're going to try to do that for the mug. Usually we do it differently for the mug, but today we're going to use dogwoofs.com for the mug. It's going to be a practice session. If it doesn't go well, no worries. We're going to give away a mug. It'll happen, but we're going to try to do it with dogwoofs. Quick shout outs to everybody in chat. We got Hambone, Mark Schoen, Keith C, Jonathan Schlegel. Who else we got here? Ryan Burlow's in the house. BMC was here earlier. I don't know if he's still around. Sorry
Ara's
about the.
out there.
Sorry, yeah, Ara's out here. Who else?
Keith.
We got? Keith C in the house. The life of Heffy. So I just want to say everybody, hey, how's it going? And head over to dogwoofs.com. And John, feel free to spam that in chat as well. John, I think you should have admin rights to be able to do that. And at some point in the show, we're going to be doing the mug giveaway from there. All right. So let's do this. I'd love to, actually, I got to change this. I'm going to change this as well. Our little box. We got to change our box to the Vikings. So while we're doing that, Mike, why don't you get ready with the PFF so we can kick off?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's
start off with the defense because we did offense last week.
I mean, we are so connected. I already had them pulled up because I knew that's where you wanted to go.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it was a good Sunday. There's no doubt about that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys and girls and you, Mike, probably saw one particular person all over social media, and we were voting for him to be the rookie of the week.
Yes,
and that's our very own Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And now, before I get to his score, he is the top ranked linebacker, in the NFL right now. I think that you have to have 60 plus snaps, I believe, is the Mendoza line, if you will.
Okay.
And yeah, so he's the top ranked, and he flashed, as we know, all game long. And 93.9 is
He's
his
the top rated linebacker in the league, you said.
top ranked in the league right now. Yep.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah. 93.9, 73.6 in run defense, 75.1 tackling,
Holy crap.
70.2 in the pass rush. And you know, the one that I really liked, 92.5 in coverage. And you're talking, I mean, he played 23 plays, 8 run defense, 3 on the pass rush, and 12 in coverage. So,
I'm like,
yeah,
my jaw is dropped.
yeah, lights out for the kid. Like, and there were some, some plays that he made on Sunday that were just, I mean, I remember there was one where he was already calling out, hey, look for the running back in the flat, and covered the tight end, and the movement, I guess, if you will, the stop and start to then go break up the pass to the tight end
Yeah.
was impressive. I mean, I can't even talk because I was so impressed by it. But I mean, he had that one where he engaged the tackle and pretty much shed him and then made the tackle. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what Sunday brings. For him and obviously the defense. But the other cool thing that sort of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about when we first opened the show
Mm-hmm.
is Greedy played 8 snaps in relief for Newsom. 7 of those were in coverage, and he was the second rated defender at a 90.8, and his coverage grade was a 90.7. So that's I know it's a small sample size, but I mean, 8 snaps, 7 in coverage, and you pull a 90.7. He played well for the limited time he was in there, and it
Wow.
gives us hope that you know he'll lock it down on or as locked down as he could, on Sunday. Number 3, Myles Garrett. How funny is this? So your defense played well
Mm-hmm.
when Myles Garrett is your third ranked defender and he's pulling a 90 PFF grade, right? 91.2 in the pass rush.
And sets what a franchise record for most sacks in a game.
Yeah.
And I mean, how I wonder how far off he was from the NFL record single game.
Yeah. I
So
think I wonder what it is. I never looked that up.
yeah, that'd be interesting. Anybody in chat knows what the
Yeah.
NFL single game sack record is? If I
I
had to
can't,
guess,
I would say 5. I can't imagine it being more than that.
well, they didn't like really start even like looking at sacks till
Yeah.
like
Uh,
the 80s.
80s. Yeah. Late. Because isn't that the knock on Clay Matthews?
Yeah, they just like
Yeah.
didn't have this. I was like, how lazy is it to go back and just watch the games and see?
Yeah.
I
No
mean,
doubt.
they know how many tackles he had, but I guess they'd have to go
7. Is
DT.
that
Yeah, that makes sense.
wow?
Yeah,
That's I wonder,
that's
Jonathan, do you know how
insane.
many he wound up with that season?
I thought Reggie White had the record for in a season.
Yeah, that was
Um.
the infamous well, no, Strahan has it now.
Oh yeah, when he.
Remember when Brett Favre laid down and they that's talked about.
Yeah, Brett Favre just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So all right. So we got we got Jeremiah Owusu
Yep.
Koromora, and then who was number 2 again?
Greedy.
Greedy. Okay. And then number 3 was Miles, and
Yep.
wow, that's just okay. Everything about this first 3 people on the PFF is like
Yep.
blowing my mind. Because I would have said, you know, Miles Garrett would have been at a 93 or whatever the highest grade you'd be.
Yeah.
And then I would have had um, Man, I don't know. I might have even had Clowney at number 2 because he played statistically well.
Now, I mean, and with that being said, speaking of Clowney, he's seventh with a 77-8 and a
Great score.
72-1 pass rush. Right, exactly. It's a great score.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to crawl down into 9 and 10 before you get into the 60s. Surprising, the lowest rated defender was Malik Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah, and Malik McDowell was the second.
Real quick, Isaiah. Yes, I got your email. But you only sent me your. You sent me your. I need your physical address, not your email address. I can't send a mug to an email address. You gotta. I sent you a response yesterday asking for your physical address. So write me another. Look for my email and respond to that with your physical address so I can send you that mug. Yeah, man, wild. Okay, so I want to keep going down the list, but I'm very very curious to see where Mac Wilson wound out after his career game last week in PFF.
So you again slide me right in there because you asked for Clowney. I gave you him at 7. And your boy Mac Wilson is 8th, 76.5.
It's not a bad score.
No, 60.3 in the run defense, 58.7 in the pass rush, and a very nice 76.3 in the coverage.
Well, here's the deal, guys. Let's come to reality for a second. We gave up 6 points, 2 field goals, to make up the 6, and they had one total passing yard after you take away all the sacks. So real good. Oh yeah, where was Ward?
So, man, I got to tell you before I get into that, as you can all see, I'm drinking out of my Victory Wednesday mug.
Nice.
For all you pumpkin beer connoisseurs out there, you've all heard of Pumpkin, which is a very good pumpkin beer. Where I'm going with this is they came out with a pumpkin whiskey, and it's mighty tasty. We'll just leave it at that. So if you could find it and you like pumpkin, go get it because it's that good. But anyway, that's why I'm over here smacking my lips.
John, if you can go ahead and fire off 10 extra bonus points to everybody who signed up for Dog Woofs right now during the show, let's give everybody 10 extra points
Nice.
for hooking it up. And there's going to be we're going to be doing quite a bit. It's in kind of prototype phase, but the idea is we're going to run our contests from Dog Woofs and be able to have like a really special end of year prize that you'll be able to take your points and put it so each point equals one entry into that sweepstakes to win. So it's a big concept. We'll talk about it more throughout the rest of it, but let's keep going down with those PFS. So we had, if I remember correctly,
Yep.
it is number 1 Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
Correct.
Number 2 is Greedy.
Yep.
How many snaps?
8, 7 in coverage, and then he finished with the 90.7 coverage grade.
Pretty good coverage grade.
Yeah.
For this. So I mean that might be the sweet spot for Greedy, but obviously he's gonna have to play more now that Newsom's out. But that's a really good score leading up to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next week to see.
Well, I mean, and this is gonna be. I'd have to do a little bit of digging, but it might be that the Vikings might be the most passing offense in the league, and then if Cook is still out, who knows? I mean, they might throw like 70 times. So we need that 90 grade from Greedy from against Kirk Cousins versus Justin Fields, who really couldn't do much. Okay, so Greedy Williams number 2, Myles Garrett number 3, number 4 is.
Who do you think it is? I'll give you a hint. He's in the secondary.
Johnson?
Nope.
Grant?
Nope.
Ronnie?
Nope. Ronnie's 6 though. 79.8. 4 and 5 are. I don't think you'd get 4 and 5. I think I'd have to make you guess like 11 times before you.
Stewart?
No. So I'll give you five first before we go to four. Five is Malcolm Smith.
Okay. I would
80.
have I would have gotten to Malcolm Smith eventually. Still a really good score for Malcolm Smith.
Yeah. So for four, think about
AJ Green?
no, you're missing our
Newsom?
no. You got Newsom, you got Denzel, and then who's your third?
Have I named them all?
You're missing the third. Played with JJ3 and lost.
Troy Hill.
Yep, Troy Hill, 83.8.
Troy Hill. He hasn't entered fully into my like ethos yet.
Yeah, I know.
He's out there. I did see him. He had some really nice plays.
Yeah.
Really nice play. Really good run stopping plays too. What was his run defense?
81.7.
Yeah.
And 76.9 tackling. I mean, these scores are so solid, and
yeah, this is a championship defense score.
it really is. It really is.
Well, do you hear all the controversy about like Matt Nagy? They're saying that he purposefully did. I mean, this is all conspiracy.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did briefly see something like that.
Purposely did not prepare Justin Fields for the game because he wanted to play Foles and Dalton. Dalton's obviously hurt, but he wanted to play Foles. And my dad was saying the whole time, he's like, Nick Foles would have. He's like, if I'm the Bears, I'm playing Nick Foles. If you really want to win, because the Browns, like, taking a rookie quarterback who obviously hasn't gotten a ton of first team reps. You didn't prepare him in the offseason with first team reps, and you put him up against the Browns defense, who have scary players, away in the Brown Stadium as your first game. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Right?
And if that was the case, and it was like a case of sabotage, and he is not a Justin Fields fan, then you really have to fault the ownership and the front office at that point, because clearly he wasn't on board. And I don't think Matt Nagy has done very much to warrant demands, if you will.
I mean, you have to have some capital if you're going to go against in the position that was clearly their biggest issue in Chicago, and it's been their biggest issue for decades. Like I know Rex Grossman took him to the Super Bowl. I know, but like the bottom line is they have not had a franchise quarterback, and you could even argue that Jim McMahon was not a franchise quarterback. Jim McMahon threw like 17 times a game. He never had monster seasons. He was like the flashy. I mean, I don't want to like insult the guy, but I mean, he was essentially like the Trent Dilfer of his day. He had arguably the greatest running back of all time, and arguably the best defense of all time. He had very good wide receivers. He didn't have to do much, right? He basically
the 85 Bear defense. So
yeah, 85 Bear defense. He was basically on autopilot, taking snaps with his gloves and his visor. Okay?
I mean, it's not that hard to hand off the sweetness, right?
Or the fridge in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you've got those guys, and the biggest challenge. I mean, when they showed those stats for the Bears last week, the thing that was really interesting to me was how many, like, the most starts that they had was Jay Cutler. They're like 103 or something. So, I mean, they're ripping through quarterbacks quickly too, but the Bears, interestingly, have been able to figure it out with defense and running backs, like in the Matt Forte era, right? So running backs and defense, and they're just dying for that. They're dying for that franchise guy. Then if you look at Justin Fields, a couple of things about him. I've known about Justin Fields for a very long time. So I remember when he was in the Elite 11, and I saw a lot of tape on him in high school. Then he goes to Georgia, doesn't really do anything. They stick with Was it Jake Fromm they stuck with? I can't remember who they stuck with. And then then he had to go to Ohio State, and then he did fine at Ohio State. But even when he got there, the coaches were like, "Ugh, this dude's mechanics, this dude's footwork. Like we have a lot. Like he's got raw talent and ability, but a lot." So I'm sitting there and I'm going, "All right, I'm Matt Nagy. I haven't done a great job. I I'm gonna win with defense." And we have this new, fresh, raw, young talent who, in my estimation, is the second coming of Cam Newton. I look at Justin Fields, I see Cam Newton all day. And what I would do is I would have studied all summer the Carolina Panthers when Cam Newton took him to the Super Bowl. And I go, that's our roadmap. That's our game plan. Right there. That's the game plan with this kid. Don't make him throw. Have a lot of running plays designed, have a lot of really simple stuff, and then as soon as they start biting up, then you heave it deep to Allen Robinson. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And it just looked like if he wasn't sabotaging him, then he clearly he hadn't prepared him correctly. And it is criminal for him not to have they didn't double team Miles. They didn't chip Miles. And I mean, on that last sack that he had, where he went around the corner, he barely even he pushed him into Justin Fields.
Oh yeah, I mean he was beating Peters pretty bad all game.
And then you had Miles, and then at the end there was another sack that that Clowney actually got credit for because he finished it off. That Miles had his arms wrapped around him, would have been 5.5.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's just criminal that they didn't. You don't look at tape and go, okay, well, this whole season thus far, Myles Garrett has been pretty much kept in check to the point where a lot of us were going, where's Myles Garrett? Where's the Myles Garrett we were promised on the other side of Jadeveon Clowney? What's going on? But then on defense, I don't know about you. On defense, I actually key on certain individual players quite a bit. And I like looking for Myles, right? Because I think he's going to, if it's a passing play, he's going to get it. If it's a running play, he's going to be able to get him. So I watch Myles quite a bit on defense. And I was sitting there telling my dad, I was like, they're not double teaming him. They are not double teaming Myles, and he's going to go nuts today, right? So the Vikings, I hopefully learn the lesson. But back to the Justin Fields, just on a final thought on that. I mean, I don't know if there was malicious intent. You have to think that there wasn't.
I can't imagine.
I mean, that you're not only sealing you're sealing your fate with that organization. You might be sealing your fate with like other organizations too. If you're that bold that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna ruin this kid from day one because I don't agree. That's almost like psychopath. Like
you know what's pretty interesting. Someone in the chat mentioned, hey, what about Denzel?
Yeah.
And so what I found really interesting, and then we'll head over to the offensive side and get this thing going. But Newsome was 10, Denzel was 11. Newsome played 37 snaps, Denzel played 45. Of the 37 for Newsome, 26 were in coverage. And as far as Denzel, he had 45 snaps and 33 of his were in coverage. And Newsome's coverage grade was a 64.9 and Denzel's was a 59.6. So
Denzel is not having a good year.
No, and it's I mean, we hold them up to a very high standard, but
yeah.
I agree with you. There's been times where, and again, I mean, we're 2-1 and whatnot, but there were times, and even so in the Chiefs game, and then there was one of their only third down conversions, I think on Sunday to Allen Robinson, but it seems like in big situations, and I say big loosely, I mean, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. I feel like he's been the guy that has given up that big first down, and obviously it didn't matter on Sunday, but there were a couple of those in the Chiefs game, if I remember correctly, And there were a couple last week or 2 weeks ago as well. But I mean, he's not having a bad year. Just I don't know if it's a typical Denzel year.
It's not.
Yeah,
It is. I mean, Denzel. I think if you think back to his like rookie season, Pro Bowl, right? Um, he he was catching interceptions. He was ripping the ball out of players' hands for fumbles. Um, taking stuff to the house. Like we're not seeing that Denzel anymore.
yeah. You bring up an interesting point because it's been a while since we've seen a quote unquote playmaker type of play.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
yeah, like a real, not like a oops, you threw me an interception, but like a I'm gonna dive and get the interception.
yeah.
John Johnson had kind of one of those taken away from him, which was a very iffy call.
He speaking of him, he's a very interesting uh, study when it comes to PFF because to the eye, he's been playing well. I mean, he had that one play where he got spun around in
It's a
Kansas
freak
City,
play. Yeah.
but it's a freak play. Yeah, I agree with you. But you and I talked about this last week. JJ3 is always winding up at the bottom of the defensive PFF numbers.
It's odd.
Um, he's third to last this week again, and he's been in the bottom five for the first 3 weeks. He's at a 53 overall and a 51.7 in coverage.
Yeah.
But I feel as though, I mean, the score doesn't lie, and I know PFF isn't everything, but like I feel like to the eye, he's played better than a 53. But you know,
Yeah, I
that's what the
agree. I agree. I mean, and I feel like Ronnie's played better than his scores too.
Ronnie
Um,
had. Where's Ronnie? Ronnie was six this week, as a matter of fact.
yeah, I
He
feel like
was at he was a 79.8 and a
it's
73.8 in coverage.
yeah, it's great. I mean, for a week that we held Justin Fields to one 1 yard, officially 1 yard pass. We I think he had like 68 yards pass. So he had like one official in the books. But you do that well and you're still a 59
Yeah,
for Denzel? That's just odd.
and he's got a he's he next week's is a big week for him. He needs to step up.
Oh, it's going to be all about the secondary. This is going to be the secondary's biggest challenge. And then because the Pittsburgh game, I mean, Ben, if you look at Ben, he's throwing the ball like 60 times.
Yeah, you and I could pick one of his off.
But still, it's a lot of
I
it's
still
just a lot of
can't believe that.
plays
Yeah, I still can't believe that video that you sent me.
where it just goes boom, and falls down.
Yeah, I mean that is like you would expect that like in one of those silent movies. Who is Charlie Chaplin type? You know?
That's what, yeah, that's what I really considered. Charlie Chapman and Ben Roethlisberger are basically the same guy,
Yeah, I think they
other
may be.
other than the rapes.
Right.
Beyond that. Um, but looking ahead to the Vikings really quick, I have some interesting stats. I think you'll find interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so the Vikings are 1-2, currently in third place in their division. By the way, I'm going to be on a Vikings podcast tomorrow. Who are my guys I'm going to be on with? I'll tweet it out so everybody remembers. But it's going to be the co-host of One Bar and Lupagus. I'll put it in chat so everybody can see it. This is the channel I'm going to be on tomorrow at 7 o'clock, talking about Vikings Browns. They were like, okay, cool. Hey, super chat comes in. No, you aren't picking off Ben. Neither is Mike, says John. Well,
10 years ago, I feel like I might have been able to.
yeah,
I
me
might
too.
lose a hammy though now.
So I'm going to be on this Vikings podcast tomorrow, or video podcast, just like this, same format, and talking about that. They were like, "Hey, we'll
Nice.
we'll send over the questions we're going to ask," and I'm like, "No, sir. I no questions for me. I prefer to go in to every one of my interviews free form.
Way it should be.
Just with my journal and childlike sense of wonder, as they say." Um, but so Kirk Cousins is going to be he could be a problem. Um, and I'm sorry I keep itching my nose. I have like really bad allergies. I can't breathe right now. So game one against Cincinnati, where they lost in overtime, he threw 49 times. And then game two, where they lost barely to Arizona, he threw 32 times. And then Minnesota versus Seattle this last week, where they beat up on Seattle, he threw 38 times. He has not thrown an interception yet this season. We are not a secondary that gets a lot of interceptions, so that's not good either. But he's going to throw the ball a lot. He's thrown for 351 yards, 244, and 323. Completion percentage is well over 70, like maybe like 73-ish. And he's doing well. I mean, he's just doing well. So this is a bit of a this is going to be interesting here. Oh yeah, 73.9, so almost 74% completion percentage. That means, guys, 3 out of every 4 passes that he attempts, he's completing. Right? That's really good, especially against our secondary, who has not really truly been tested yet. Although I guess you could say Pat Mahomes, but the Chiefs they're just having a weird year. You know, everything's weird about the Chiefs this year.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
this is going to be a scary one because we're going to the Dome, and yeah, I've been worried about this one all year.
You know what's interesting though is I wonder if and I hope it's the case, but as we saw on Sunday, it was vanilla no more. They gave me the requested Rocky Road. They had Miles and Clowney lining up inside. At one point, they had them lining up on the same side. And they played dime. I think it was 27% of the snaps.
Yeah.
So, that tells me that, Delpit and is healthy as far as Joe Woods is concerned. I would think that he's feeling comfortable, throwing that defense out there and letting them do their thing. And I mean, that's what he's wanted to do. And I mean, that's why they took Delpit last year and then he got hurt and that sort of, ruined his plans for the scheme he wanted to run. And, now Delpit's healthy. You got Jock, who's another weapon that you could throw in there in that type of package. And I just hope that what we saw last week, again, it sucks that Newsom's not in there, but I think Reedy could pick up the slack. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Kirk Cousins, has a game on us, or, we can contain him. It'll be it'll be pretty interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and you touched on it earlier too, in terms of, is Dalvin Cook going to play? I think he will. But if he doesn't, how does Madison do? So,
well, here's the other interesting thing. This is going to be the first real game that I think we get a barometer against another team in the division, right? Because the Bengals took care of them at home, so it wasn't in Minnesota, but at home, they took care of them in overtime, right? Where if the Vikings can score more than 24 points and we score less than 27, then, it's somewhat of a barometer. I know it's not apples to apples, but like we'll be able to kind of gauge where we stand against the Bengals at this point. And like you and I talked about, I think the Bengals, I don't know if they're for real. I have a hard time convincing myself or talking myself into the Bengals being for real. But they're 2-1. And I mean, they're 2-1. They're tied with us and the Ravens.
Jamar Chase figured out how to catch the ball.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that one big long touchdown that he caught.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
All hands. Yeah.
Cincinnati is one of those teams that is just going to be annoying because I mean they took care of the Steelers. The Steelers didn't even have a chance. Ben Roethlisberger threw 58 times. Najee Harris carried 14 times for 40 yards. And then basically the only offensive weapon they had was Najee Harris, who they threw the ball to 14 times.
Lowest ranked rush team in the league right now, 53 yards a carry, the Steelers.
Well, and we knew that. We knew that going in. We're like, these
Yeah.
guys got rid of Connors, and
No line.
yeah, no line. Right. And it's just the
And they're
Steelers. The Steelers are circling the bowl.
They are, and their fans are melting down. I tweeted something out yesterday. I mean, they're calling for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you're not getting the discount double check, and if you did, that poor guy is just going to get killed because even though he's young still and he's agile, I mean, that line is just atrocious.
Yeah, Rodgers isn't going to. Rodgers is going to go to a team that's going to compete for the playoffs, who has weapons he can throw to, and can run,
Yep.
and has a defense. And the one team that stands out is Denver, because they also have a transitionary quarterback currently with Teddy Bridgewater, and they meet the other qualifications, right? Another team, Houston, but they're not going to compete for anything. So Miami is another interesting spot for Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, let's go to the offense. Take a look at the offense.
Yeah, and you know what? Before I get to the offense, there was a couple. One stat in particular that I thought was pretty neat that you and everybody out there would really appreciate it. And the number one ranked team in the league, PFF wise, is the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah,
and we could see why. But the number two ranked team is your Cleveland Browns in the NFL, and third place isn't that close to them either. So I thought that was an interesting little fun fact.
See it. I'll call it right now. I could see a Cleveland Browns versus LA Rams Super Bowl where the LA Rams are playing at home.
Could you imagine 2 years in a row?
No, it would be horrible.
Yeah.
It would be literal horrendous.
But it's funny because we know the story, and it's not going to surprise me to see, Mr. 50 years old going on 25, taking the team to Los Angeles to represent the NFC again this year.
It could be.
Yeah, but who knows?
I mean, here's the thing with the Rams. I think they're off to a tremendous start, but the thing that typically happens to the Rams every year is they get injuries. Cooper Kupp's going to get injured. Wood's going to get injured. The running backs are going to get injured. Aaron Donald's pretty durable. Stafford could get injured. He's no spring chicken.
God, he's playing well out there, though.
He's looking scary, dude. He's looking scary. It's like you don't want to run into that guy at home in the Super Bowl, but
You know what's funny?
How crazy would it be if that happened and we went out there and actually won it?
I know. And like you look at Matthew Stafford, right? And you look at what he's doing with the Rams, and then you go, man, you know what the Lions are missing? Someone like Matthew Stafford. Right? Think about that for a second.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with Stafford. Stafford, his wife wanted out of Michigan really bad. They're like one of the most lockdown states in the country.
Yeah.
And Stafford's he's from the South, he's from the woods.
Where'd he play? Georgia? Did he come from Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Southern boy, right? So he goes from Michigan out to LA, which I mean is still very, locked down and everything like that. But at least it's like LA.
Yeah.
It's not Detroit, which is arguably the worst city in the country.
And it's he's interesting, and I don't want to get caught up on Matthew Stafford. We'll get into these offensive grades, but he's just really interesting because he's he's a really good quarterback. I mean, he was always a good quarterback with the Lions. It's just, I mean, we joke about the Browns being a cursed franchise, but I got to tell you, I think the Lions might they might have the trophy.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, and they got a lot of I mean, the Rams. I was watching that game because it was a late game, and or maybe a later game, I think it was, and I was watching that thing, and you know, they gave up a lot to get. They went all in on Stafford. And they were
Yeah,
talking about how that deal went down, and they're like, we only have 15 minutes, and blah blah blah. We gotta just do it. Just sell mortgage the future for this guy, right? Because they probably could get like 3 to 4 years out of him.
yeah,
So far, so good,
yeah.
right? But
All right, here we
hey,
go.
let's go offense.
All right, let's go
My
offense.
dad would be mad because he's like, you guys are going off on tangents. I want to hear the
Hey,
PFF
you know what
scores.
though? To our defense, no pun intended, we got right into the PFF scores.
We did. We went right. My
We
dad. The feedback from my dad was, you guys talk too much. You guys go off on tangents. I'm here for the PFF scores. Give me the
but
PFF. And now he's not here. He's like messing around.
yeah,
He's messing around at home. I just texted him. I said the Wednesday show's live.
and where are you?
I
But
think,
but but
I think he's getting his house set up. He just moved
but
in
I
yesterday.
I think you and I would agree. We enjoy the banter part of the show. That's my favorite part of the show,
Yeah,
anyway.
we would do this for free.
I mean, I haven't even gotten to the point where it must be my light because this shirt is so orange that it's like pumpkin orange. And again,
Still kind of looks pink though.
it has a pink hue to it. So
Pink hue.
I think it's
We need to
my
do some. We need to do a little tweaking.
I think it's the Edison bulb.
Could be.
It has to be. It has to be the way the Edison bulb is glowing off me that it looks like, I'm in Mrs. Doubtfire's outfit.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hop into
Anyway,
let's hop into the O, the big
so
O.
we don't even have to go one because we already know who one is. It's Kareem Hunt at a 90.6.
Reem
So
had a good game.
number two brings a smile to my face because they were having a tough time of it last week, but Jack Conklin came in at an 89-1, 82-9 in the pass block.
Even with the penalty, or did they miss penalty? I think they called
yeah.
it. They called it on Conk, but it was actually Batonio.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because yes, no, it could have been because let me see, Treader had a penalty, Antonio had a penalty, Teller had a penalty. I'm about ready to penalize Bonzo if he barks one more time. Yeah, so Conklin was the only one without a penalty.
Interesting.
And Baker is third, 76-4. Coming in 0.2 less than Baker in number 4 was your OBJ. And Hooper was 5th, coming in at 72.6. Treader coming in at 6 with a 70.6. Felton had 11 snaps. It's funny because I don't remember him being on the field 11 times, but
yeah, he kept coming in like weird moments. He kept coming in and like and flexing out and stuff like that. It was like, yeah, I didn't know. I wouldn't have said 11. I would have said like 5.
I was surprised with that. Donovan Peoples-Jones at 8. He had a couple nice catches.
Yeah, those sideline catches were nice. And that drive, the drive going down into halftime.
Yep.
His catch was the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And
he's, Donovan Peoples-Jones is very interesting to me. He's got breakout potential, and we've seen it, and we saw, carry over from last year into camp, and then except for those couple catches last week, I mean, he's been non-existent through 3 weeks. Again, minus the couple of really nice plays that he had on Sunday.
Higgins,
But
same thing.
I'm curious. I there's still no all 22, and I hate watching the condensed film. But
So
I
is
need
it
to.
not out, or is it not out till
So
later in the week?
no. So here's the thing. This is what the NFL says. Apparently, there was some sort of technical difficulty that occurred that hasn't occurred for like years, right? But it happened this year, and it was removed from the NFL.com or the app, etc. So they said that it would be available by Friday, this past Friday. They came out and said it would be available. It is still not available to us. And the kicker is, and I think I might have mentioned this last week. I can't remember if it was on this show or the pre or post, but if you are out of country, right?
Yeah.
You can get the all 22. And I got one of those apps that you could go on like a VPN from somewhere else, and I did. I went on. I think it was like the Netherlands was the VPN I hooked up to, and it's there. But the problem is when I sign in on the foreign NFL, it doesn't work. I can't. My credentials don't work. So if I want,
you gotta buy it again.
I gotta buy it again. And I know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna shell out the stupid $100, and then the next day I'm gonna go on the app and it's gonna be back, and I'm gonna freak out. But I might have to, because it's killing me not to be able to watch the all 22 right now. Because Peoples Jones is one of those guys. Like I need to watch him closely. Is he not separating? Like, what is going on that he has been non-existent except for last game? And if you take those couple of catches he had last game, like those were like superstar catches. Like it wasn't like he's running a 10-yard out and he's beating his man like blatantly.
Yeah,
it's he's making a couple of acrobatic kind of catches on perfect throws. So
yeah.
How
was John Schlegel just brought up Schwartz? How did Schwartz do?
Schwartz was 18th, 28 snaps, 55.5 was his grade.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, the last two, the and I know you wanted to comment on Schwartz, but surprisingly, 21 and 20, the bottom of the barrel was Njoku and Bryant.
Yeah, they didn't do very much.
Yeah.
Squabbling. He's like he's the jester of the show. I love that guy.
I know, he's great.
All right, so Baker's 3, you said?
Yeah, Baker was 3. Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Who's number 4?
Odell.
Number 5.
Hooper.
All right, so let's talk about Odell and Hooper real quick. Odell's first game back looked good. I know he was probably really upset that he didn't get the touchdown.
Yep.
That Baker threw. Who did Baker throw to?
Hooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that was a great catch for Hooper, by the way. Outstretched, big
what a
mitts.
throw. Yeah, put it only place that he could.
He had to trust that he could reach out and get that. That was great. I'm sure Odell wanted that one really bad. I mean, he would have wanted to come back, have a touchdown in his first game, but he had a good game. Most productive guy on the stat sheet in terms of just overall catches and everything like that. So, but it was good to have him back. Right. Hooper, quality. I think Hooper is one of those unsung hero type guys. He's not going to make a lot of noise. He's just going to do his job.
Yeah.
And he was great. Was Odell in on that play? I think he was, Guts, if I was remembering correctly. But we don't have the all 22, so we don't know.
Odell played 52 snaps.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of snaps for a guy coming back from a torn ACL. It's a lot. I mean, that tells me he could have gone last week, and he probably could have gone week 1. Right? How do you go from How do you go from not playing to 50 to over 50 snaps? Right. I mean, it's weird, right?
Yeah,
It's a lot of production for a guy with torn ACL missing 2 games to start the season. That's a lot of production.
yeah, I agree.
They didn't have him on a pitch count, It's odd. Real quick, another very quick plug for dogwoofs.com. Everybody happens to be in chat. If you want a chance to win the Victory Monday mug, which we will be giving away today, sign up on dogwoofs.com and you get points every time you watch the show. Every time you come back to Brownie Postgame, you get points for just showing up. So it's like it's a cash system, not cash. It's like for those who are online video game nerds like I am, know what a DKP system is. It's a DKP system. The more times you show up, more points you get, more chances you have to win. Everything's free. So sign up on dogwoofs.com. It's going to be our first way to connect. It's a prototype site right now, being developed by software engineer / lawyer John Schlegel, and we're going to be baking it into the ecosystem of Brownie Postgame for here on out. Okay. Hooper was 6.
He was. I changed screens for a second. I apologize. Hooper was 5.
Okay.
Treader is 6, 70.6 score. Felton was 7.
Are we gonna extend Treader anytime soon? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. How old is he?
He's young.
Is he young?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I want to say he's 24. He's 26. Okay, so he's not that young. Still, he doesn't have that much tread. Like he hasn't played that many snaps in his career, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his career right now. I don't know if he's gonna give you stats for like games played. Okay, 8 games for Buffalo, 15 for us, 11, and then 3. So only 37 games.
Yeah.
Not that many games.
Yeah.
So
born in 91. Yeah. He's 30.
I see he's 26. Say he's 30?
Yeah, it says 30.6. So he must be turning 31.
I have him as November 21st, 1994.
Yeah, this has him February 12th of 91.
What are you on there? Site?
PFF.
So ClevelandBrowns.com have him at 26 and Wikipedia has him at 26.
What?
So PFF Scores off when it comes to birthdays. So they cannot be trusted.
We have to go. We need a.
You need to take a screenshot of that and tweet it.
I thought he was older, but
I'll send it to his wife and be like, Carly, what the hell? Be like, yeah, Wyatt's 30.
Oh wait, you're talking about Wyatt.
Who did you say? Treader?
Yeah, I was on Treader still.
Oh, I thought you said Teller.
Close though. I mean, Teller, Treader. I mean, it was still the kind of sound.
Everybody for the last 5 minutes, we are completely because Treader is old. He's like older than he looks,
Yeah.
Or he looks older than he is, I would say. Maybe that. But that's funny. So we were just talking about 2 different players for the last 5 minutes.
But
I won't edit that out. That's got to stay in.
Yeah, I mean that's classic.
We're doing it live.
And I mean, at that point, if PFF had the wrong score, then now we've got to question everything, right?
Oh yeah, the integrity of PFF was being called into question live on the spot.
But the best part is we were both accurate, just 2 different guys.
Yeah,
and that is the beauty. But that's the beauty of the Wednesday show.
That's what the Wednesday show is all about, guys.
I mean, that's why
it's not about accuracy.
Listens. Yeah. I mean, it's all about the fun.
It's not about the accuracy. And for any of the Wednesday show OGs, there was a time where Mike and I would sit on here for 3 hours and not talk about the Browns. It was like, what are we gonna do? Let's just hang out for 3 hours and talk, and we won't talk about the Browns at all. And there'd be like 6 people in chat, and we'd be like, well, whatever.
But you know what? Those 6 people really enjoyed what we were talking about.
Yeah, it would be funny. I got to go back to those shows and see if I have. I could. I guess I could turn on
Yeah.
the historic chat just to
Oh,
see
that's
like what
great.
we were talking about because
What
I'm
we were
sure they.
talking.
I'm sure they were like, God damn, shut up.
Video games, I'm sure.
I think we talked about Metallica. We talked about Tommy Lee.
Oh
Like,
yeah, we we ran the gamut.
yeah. Well, again, my dad said he's gonna watch this the next day. He's gonna listen the next day, so he's gonna hear this. He'd be like, "You guys are going off on a tangent again."
Yeah, but you know what he's gonna do? And if you get to this point and you're listening, then I'm wrong. But what if, hear me out here, Mike.
Okay.
What if your dad wanted us to put the PFF scores in the front so he didn't have to listen to us?
The back of the show.
Right.
Well,
Interesting.
the joke's on him because we're still going over the PFF scores.
That's right.
I mean, here's why I love this new PFF segment that we're doing this year on the Wednesday show, because it just queues up other like bullshit to talk about
It really does.
throughout the course of the PFF segment, right? So
Yeah.
as before, we're kind of like, yeah, what'd you think of Ronnie's performance this game? It's like, oh, it was pretty good. But now we can like really dig into it, and then we're like, well, remember the one play, and it's like, woo.
Would you be talking about one of his 8 plays here as I'm looking at the snaps?
He only played 8 plays.
No, no, no. I'm just messing around.
Oh, I was like, like what? um,
You know who was ranked?
where did Jedrick come in?
Man,
He's got to be low.
I would right before you said that, I was staring at it. 16th, 60.3, 66.1 on the run block, and 45.8, 45.8 on the pass block. I'd have to believe it's the ankle is bugging him, but
I mean, so here's the deal, right? Second year. What would be really kind of interesting? I know like the verdict's not out on anybody in year 2, but I would love to go back and look at those because all those offensive linemen who were available there,
yeah,
and see like where's he stacking up against Thomas, Tristan Wirfs. There's another guy I can't remember his name. Big dude for the Jets.
Oh, Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, Becton. I think Tristan Wirfs is probably the best one out of that crew.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I'm almost certain that Becton went down with a season-ending something on his leg, maybe his knee or something, I believe.
Oh, interesting. Ara asked if I'm going to do you're going to do special teams this week with Felton. No, we'll definitely do special teams. We're paying for PFF and we're giving everybody their money's worth.
Hold on, let's go there now.
By the way, just out of curiosity, how is the all 22? Did you say it was $99?
I think it's $100.
Wonder if they do a discount on that. Actually, can you share your login with me for that when that comes back, or do you think they retract that shit?
I don't know. That's a good question. Somebody in the chat said that they had it, but let me see. Let me go to maybe it popped in today, but I doubt it. Let me look on me anyway.
Well, I would love to. I just want to check it out. I mean, I'm cool. I'm also cool investing in that as part of the business expense next year, along with PFF. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing. We don't even have to pay for it because that's part of my season ticket package.
Oh, you get it with the season ticket package?
They give me Game Pass for free. And dropping the ball on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because overseas, their Game Pass is like the Sunday ticket. They can watch every game, like they can stream every game.
So I don't even know how. That's another good point you bring up because I don't even know. I don't even know how much it would be on the, on the foreign one.
Yeah, Ara gets the all 22 for NFL Game Pass as well.
Ara, where are you based?
He's in the UK.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's out there for everybody overseas, but here in the States, it's still not available.
It's got to be something to do with that DirecTV contract.
I don't know though, because we've had it. Um,
Oh yeah, the all 22. Yeah.
yeah. And the season ticket,
God.
somebody just said, how much is the season package now? Too much money. I have and that's another thing. So up until last year, along with, so when you're a season ticket member, you get the Game Pass for free, you get Red Zone for free, you get, they give you like 130% off coupon at the NFL shop, and then you get a 15% all the time with your season ticket membership.
Still got my
But
20% off at Fanatics I haven't used yet.
there you
I'm
go.
thinking about buying this. Oh, by the way, so not to interrupt, but just to
Yeah.
say the hat where you're telling me to buy it,
Yep.
this 20% off doesn't work for the hat.
Of course not, because the Nike product.
It's like $37. And I think I paid like
I
33 for this one. And it's
I
basically the
know.
same hat, it's just darker color.
Right.
But I still
Trust
want
me.
it. I don't. Ah.
I was gonna snag something today too, when it was, and with, because as a matter of fact, the 30% off at the NFL shop for being a season ticket holder, that's over tomorrow. And there was something I wanted. I can't remember exactly what it was that I was looking at.
Oh,
And
hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike. 1 second.
yeah,
Shane Garrett says, Mike, it is available. Set the scores toggle to on.
set the scores toggle to on. Oh my god.
If that's the case and it was user error, oh man, that's
Mine, no, I have mine. I have mine show scores. I'll shut it off and I'll turn it back on then. But I did have it. Yes, show me scores. I did have it on that. Let me go to Game Pass again after I reset it. No, still not there.
still not there.
Maybe if
Sorry,
I
Shane, did not work.
were,
Unplug it and plug it back in.
yeah, maybe if I log out.
No, like literally unplug it. No, I don't think. Well, maybe you could try. I
Yeah,
mean,
let
that
me
would be
try that.
weird. That'd be a really weird bug.
But and they're talking about the Sunday ticket in the chat, but where I was going with that is also, as a season ticket member, you would get the season ticket max package for DirecTV for $99. And then after last year, they did away with it. And it cost me almost $400, I think, for Sunday Ticket Max. So I'll be the first one that's excited when that goes away. All right, let me log out.
Squabbling. I cast the Browns from a very legal streams from my tablet. I do the same thing. Very legal, all very legal.
are,
Um,
are you hearing my dog barking like crazy over there?
yeah, you need to get we need to get you set up with the the noise suppression filter
Yeah, I don't
over
know.
here.
I don't know what he's barking at out there. I apologize, everybody.
You know what it is? He's pissed that we're not talking about the PFS. He's like, you guys are off on a tangent again. Not talking about the PFS. I want to hear the rest of the offense.
Yeah.
Um, who's after? Who was after? Where do we leave off? Treader.
Yeah, but then I switched back over. I was going to try and see if I could find the special teams grades.
While you're doing that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and start the contest for the Victory Monday mug now.
Perfect.
So I believe it means we have like 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to enter. This will be done so that we're ending the contest at 8:50. So 15 more minutes. Everybody go to Brownie Post, or no, I'm sorry, go to dogwoofs.com and get signed up for your chance to win a Victory Monday mug.
All right, I'm going to have to remember that because I just logged out. And for some strange reason, after I updated my phone, it is not doing the memorized password. So otherwise, I'm going to have to go in there and look. But with that being said, I do see that. Where'd it go? Shane said,
Toggle scores on.
I did the toggle, but then I thought he said something else. What's on the top right corner?
The alt 22 is under the video screen.
The video screen. Now I'm clicking on, and I'm not clicking on anything now because it logged me out. I'm not going to go search for my password, but I hit the game replays, and then it takes me to them, and I click on it, and then I only see condensed and full game, which is usually where they were. So if I'm in the wrong place, Shane, please let me know.
Got it. Mid's plug is going all in on the mug today. He's got his 14,
he is.
He got all 14
entries.
Good for you, dude. Good for you. Good luck.
Now, what did you want me to look at before I go into the special teams?
I wanted to just see if anybody who's next after Treader.
Okie doke.
C-Town 216. What's up?
So Treader was 6, then Felton was 7.
Okay.
DPJ was 8. We won't count 9 because it was Keenum and his 5 snaps. Yeah, I know.
They gave him a PFF score for kneeling?
Yeah.
What was it? Okay.
He had 5 total snaps, 3 runs, and 2 run blockings, they called it. They shouldn't even score that. They shouldn't even score it.
That's honestly hilarious. Well,
you know what we're going to do? Because I don't like that. We're up in everybody by 1. So Case Keenum is eliminated. Nick Chubb now goes from 10 to 9.
Case Keenum is officially eliminated from the PFF scores. Boom.
Oh, God. Okay, so then Batonio, 66-8, 84-8 on the pass block, 67-1 on the run.
That's weird. Wasn't he the one who he kind of cleared out the lane for Hunt?
Yeah.
Although the guy did get an arm on him, which slowed him down a tiny bit, but still, he still technically did the job. But
let me go over here real quick because I know everybody they're clamoring for this. Where it is not on the right of the video screen. Scroll down just a tad under the video screen. All right, I'm going to have to figure this out in a second. But with that being said.
All right, let's hop over to special teams. You guys have 12 minutes to get your entries in for dogwoofs.com for the chance to win the Victory Monday mug. 12 more minutes.
So Felton had 7 returns for a 50.1 PFF score.
Really? I would have thought he would. I thought he did pretty well with the returns.
72.5 on the punt return.
The punt return was really where it was. He did do really well on the punt return too. He really did.
Yeah, he did.
He could be like one of those guys that is like one of those X Factor guys that if we did make it to a big game, that he would just go off and do something ridiculous, and that would be the thing, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's just a matter of time before he breaks one.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have one last game. He got to the edge, but they covered it pretty well.
Well, he's a running back too, so it's not like he's going to have like finesse wide receiver type, just blazing speed like Schwartz, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's carrying a little extra meat because he has to, because he's got to be able to take those blows.
Yeah, absolutely.
But man, he's shifty. He broke some ankles out there on the punt returns.
All right, I'm intrigued now. I'm going to find my password.
So and to be honest, like we haven't had, one of the guys on Twitter was like, you know, somebody was like, hey, he's the best return guy we've had since Cribs, and then people were out there like naming the other return guys that we had, and I was like, come on, guys, like I mean, although I will say this, I think Felton right now passes the smell test from a return perspective, but
I agree.
until he starts really bringing him to the house, I really don't think we should be comparing him to Cribbs or Metcalf.
No, I totally agree.
But he's got, I think that what he's getting people excited because I think he can possibly be that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and special teams in general, other than against Kansas City, the other two games have been pretty damn good, and the kid can kick. That's the other thing too. What was the score on McLaughlin?
He was
McLaughlin.
an 81.4.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I mean, what do you have? A 57 and 51?
Yeah, let's see. For some strange reason, it doesn't give you.
I doesn't give you the actual kicks.
It doesn't give you. Hold on, let me click on him.
Still,
There we go.
It's like
He had
McLaughlin.
He's young too, 25.
I just love it how every year we seem to get these kickers, like just rookie kickers off the street.
I know. Would you believe I can't see what the kicks were?
I don't know what they all were because I think he made like 4 kicks, right? Didn't he make like four field goals?
Yeah, it was he had a fantasy day, did he?
That was a big day.
Yeah.
So chat, maybe you can do it, but you can help us out with where those kicks are from. But
hey, for those in the chat,
it's a big kick. It's all.
Oh no! Tell me when you could see it.
Can't see anything.
It's not gonna happen, is it?
Nope. Nope.
Oh my God! It's so close. So close. How about now?
No. Yeah. I can see the top of your phone. That's it. It's getting green screened.
Anyway, I go to Game Pass and I go to replays, and I see, and it says replay with Game Pass. Houston Texans at Cleveland Browns full game, Texans at Browns condensed game, and that's all I see. So unless I got to go somewhere new this year, and if I do, Shane, help me out. I don't have it, and that's maddening, right? Yeah, makes no sense. I can't find it anywhere else. That's usually where it is.
It is. It's head scratching. This is the second week in a row now. Maybe the third week in a row. Third week in a row.
Yeah, I don't have it. And I mean, I'm logged in. I mean, Game Pass expires 7/31/2022.
Hey, new super chat coming in from Max Nikolenko's in the house. Hi, everybody. Go Brown Son. Max, what's going on, my man? I gave you a shout out last week. We were like, I don't know where Max Nikolenko is. He's been a little silent. I was getting worried there, Max.
Yeah, I agree.
I was getting worried, and we're like, he's probably here in chat. He's probably just watching on his TV or something. And he's not in chat, but he's watching. But thanks for the super chat there, Max. Appreciate it. And for everybody, this is probably a good time. You guys can do super chats like that, and you can actually join the channel. And we're gonna, we're gonna do some cool stuff for our people that are joining. Ara, I've got a gift coming out to you, pretty soon as well. So Ara was our first channel member, not subscriber, paying member. And yeah, and if Max, if you end up joining the channel here, Max, and you're still a Patreon guy, you can cancel the Patreon and just join here so you can get your name in green and you get access to all the emojis and stuff like that. So Ara says, scroll up to my linked image. On my chat, I don't see linked images. So
yeah, I don't either.
I don't see linked images there. All right, sorry. And then somebody was telling me to look on Twitter.
Oh no, that was me.
Oh, it was you? Okay.
Yeah. So I see what Shane is talking about. I don't have that on my phone, but I'm going to log in on the computer and see if see if something changes there.
Hey, 5 minutes left for to get a chance to get your Victory Monday mug on dogwoofs.com. So 5 minutes left. Anybody who has not
5 minutes.
and everybody, by the way, in order for a chance to win, you also have to click the like button, as always. Help us out. Click the like button on the stream. Slowly growing it, I think we have 17 likes so far. I'd love to get that up to like 30. That'd be pretty cool. So dogwoofs.com. Yep, free login. Just log in, join it, and enter. Because it's gonna John, does it automatically pull the winner after 15 minutes, or do I have to pull it manually? Let me know. Or if you can pull it and let me know who won, even better. We're trying to create as many tools as possible that I don't actually have to do anything. I can just show up.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. My gosh, I can't breathe. So, Mike, score predictions for this week. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Are you feeling victory?
Yeah, I am. I go back weeks ago where you brought up a game that was really troubling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm worried about that one. So where I'm going with that is I'm actually worried about that game, and I'm not worried about this game. That game being the Cardinals in a couple weeks, I am worried about that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cousins is going to get his. There's no doubt about it. I just think that I think we scored 30 some points again. I think it's a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to see, I don't think we're going to be holding anybody to 40 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards. I think, like I said, they're going to score points. They're going to gain yards. But I think in the end, go ahead, you say his name because I like the way you say it. Who do you think it's going to be a shootout,
mm-hmm.
and we're going to win on a 42-yard field goal kicked by
McLaughlin.
That's correct.
McLaughlin. Yeah, I think it would be great. I
didn't give you a score though, did
I? No, you did not. What score? What are you thinking on score?
34-31.
Okay, so very similar to their game that they had the other day.
Yeah, I got to write this down.
I think they lost to Arizona with like 34-33 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really there's not games on the schedule this year that I'm like, other than I felt really good about the Texans and really good about the Bears.
Yeah.
But I did feel like the Bears was iffy because who knows, Justin Fields could have gone off for like 1 billion yards and we'd been like, well, he's the second coming of, Christ here. And we didn't see that coming because our defense has been so, lackluster thus far, and our offense has just been incredible. And now our offense, I would say, struggled a little bit. And I think honestly, what happened was Baker probably wasn't as sharp in practice all week because he was, handing off with his right hand backwards, all week to try to protect that shoulder. And when you have a shoulder that pops out of the socket, when you have that, it's not something that you can just rub some dirt on and be good to go the next week. This is going to be a nagging injury for him, just like the ribs, just like everything. It's just going to be nagging injury for this dude. So hopefully they're numbing him up real good.
Yeah.
And he's not feeling it. But even when you've had sports injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So even when they numb you, it still feels awkward. It doesn't feel like your brain knows that it's there and that but you can't feel the pain when you get the impact.
Yeah.
But it knows that it's like, hey, it still doesn't feel right. Maybe hopefully the swelling's down. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Now, let me ask you this.
I'm a pool man.
Did you stay at a Holiday Inn?
No.
All right.
But we're staying at the Marriott, and I actually, interestingly, so I have to take a business trip next week.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to Denver for a business trip, and so I went on to my Marriott because I'm a Marriott rewards guy, and I looked, and I actually had like a couple Browns games, scheduled through Marriott. I booked a couple once. Hey, I might go out for that game. Let me just make sure I get the hotel. Thank God I did. Yeah. Because they were coming up,
Oh yeah.
And I would have had to take an L on those,
Yeah.
for a couple $100 just for being lazy. So clear it out. We just have the Halloween game now, and everything. I think we win this game as well.
Yeah.
I think I do think there's going to be whatever the over under is. I think it's going to be over. And I think Kirk Cousins, I think the way that their team is designed matches up really well against ours.
Yeah.
I just don't trust I don't think their defense will stop anything.
No, I agree with that.
And that's a really good thing for us, because you put our offense versus their defense, we win that, and their offense versus our defense, if we play like we played against Chicago, look out.
Yeah, and again, I hope I'm wrong on the 31 for them, but I just, you watch the game, as you know, long enough, you know that usually after a performance like you saw last week, you have that come back down to earth type of game rather. And but hey, like we said earlier, I mean, maybe they give up 10 points, and we're on this show on Wednesday, or we're sooner than that on the post game show, and we're talking about how last week was not a mirage. It's the real thing.
Okay, we have it's time to pick a winner.
You want me to give you exciting news before we pick the winner?
Yeah.
So I can get the coach's film on the computer. It's just not coming in on my app on my phone.
Okay, so we're closer, right?
Yep. So the iPad it will be.
Okay, let me pull up a new.
Thanks, Shane.
A new source. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this on the fly here. I'm gonna add a new source because I want everybody to see this as well. I'm gonna do a display capture on this one.
Over here breaking things with my coaster.
I go with this guy.
I am really excited to see it. So you're sharing your screen too.
I am, and I'm gonna share.
Somehow I'm like getting closer to my screen, as if like that's gonna help me see it when it's not there.
I'm gonna transition it, over so everybody can kind of see it.
Oh, Mike, as you're transitioning, the items were shipped today. Oh yeah. So I could be drinking out of a special mug come Sunday.
Okay, here we go. So
this is good.
I just learned how to use OBS Studio correctly.
This is pretty cool.
So I was able to actually do that on the fly. Okay, here we go. Randomly select one. Everybody ready? Here we go. Randomly select it. Looks like Love Dog Pound. LV Dog Pound is the winner.
Check that out. That is pretty cool.
It's the guy created it in less than 24 hours, the whole website. So you've got your mug. We've got the contest has ended. Love Dog Pound. John, can you confirm that that Love Dog Pound is maybe that's Mark. That might be Mark. That might be Mark Schoen, because he's pretty happy.
Yeah, he is.
So, John, can you just confirm that we have the correct information in there for his user profile? Hop into the database, just make sure.
Now, it
is Mark Schoen. Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations, man.
He wasn't popping back up, and I thought, yeah, he'll be back. He's just running around the living room. Once he settles back down, he'll tell us it's him.
Yeah, okay. We have the shipping info. Yes, all right. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Wait, hold on. We even have a Baker. Baker's even happy about it down there.
Yeah, no, that's great.
It's just unfortunately using the old uniforms. Is it just me, dude, or do you get upset like I do when the media uses old pictures of the Browns, like players like in the old uniforms?
I think it's interesting because I don't necessarily think they do it on purpose, because usually it's like on the national level. And I think they just pull a picture of whoever it might be. In this case, I know exactly what you're talking about because I saw your tweet, but it was Miles.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like I wonder if they have a stock selection of pictures for each guy, and it's like,
Probably.
and you know what? When I used to write back in the day, and I would put articles together, and I can't remember the name of the program that I used, but I could only choose pictures from that platform that I'd have to write in,
Mm-hmm.
and I could only choose the pictures that were in there. So I don't know if it's that kind of deal where they're writing these stories and they put in Miles Garrett, and that's the first one that comes up, and boom, they pick that one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
that's the only thing
wonder.
I could think of.
Well, and also like I think there's a lot of like editorial copyright stuff that they have on a lot of those images, so they can
Yeah,
get in trouble if they just like Google it and
yeah,
you
very
know
true.
copy and paste it like I do on all my stuff. uh, but yeah, so I don't blame them, but I'm also like, come on, guys, like we've had these uniforms, we haven't had those uniforms in what, like 3 years.
Yeah,
It's like it's not like last year. It's like it's been a while. Come
yeah,
on,
it's been a bit.
come on. Um, okay. We've been at it for an hour and a half. I think we had some fun. I think
Yeah,
we both think we're gonna win. I'm
yep,
not gonna predict a score because I never like to do that. I'm pass fail. I'm win or loss, right?
yeah,
So I think we
and that's
pass.
good.
I think we pass. I think it'll be. I'm not feeling great. I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable
Yeah,
about this matchup. It's in a Minnesota's in an unfamiliar dome,
and a loud one.
a loud one, but we're a fast team, and
Yeah,
speed on carpet is usually pretty good. So I mean, who knows? Who knows?
yeah,
So, and I don't think the Vikings clearly have not played a team with this kind of offense yet,
no, agreed.
right? So our offense has to step up and start pounding away like they usually can. Hopefully Baker's better, and hopefully the defense continues to do what they did last game. I mean, I think I said it on Twitter. I was like, this was the defense we were promised.
Yeah,
We
and
finally have it.
you know what I'm going to do for you before we leave, just because I thought about it and I'm curious.
Mhm.
Looking at Minnesota's overall defensive grades, they've got Danielle Hunter. He's an 80.5. He's an end. Michael Pierce, the D lineman, is 75.2. Harrison Smith, the safety, 70.9. Cameron Dantzler, their corner, he's a 70.5. But if you look at like the starting backers and the actual starting corners,
Mhm.
they're not doing very well. Even Bashad Breeland is at 30.4. He has 159 snaps. Mackenzie Alexander has 138 snaps at corner. He's a 42.5. Yeah, I mean, and those are your top corners. So we should be, and Patrick Peterson, but I mean, he's a 59.4, 57.5 in coverage. I mean, he's ordinary now. It's not Arizona Cardinals, Patrick Peterson. So yeah, I mean, looking at these grades, the linebackers and the corners are, they're not very good. So we should be able to have a nice day on them.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks for everybody for helping us beta test dogwoofs.com, our new giveaway platform. And John, thanks for hanging out with us and helping me to moderate the chat and also to help administer dogwoofs.com. Help us out with that contest that we did today for the Victory Monday mug. The official, I mean, honestly, I know it's the official Cleveland Clothing Co. and official
Yeah,
Victory Monday mug. I will always say it's the Mike Restano Bonzo 1273 Victory Monday mug because you were the one who put it on the map.
it's true.
And so it's like part of our Wednesday show brand.
It really is. I mean, it is. I mean, It's the reason why we're able to give these things away, because they understand that I put their mug on the map.
They see it.
Right?
They see.
They know.
Every Monday, every Victory Monday. I don't know about you, but every Victory Monday, every time I see one in my Twitter time, I retweet it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Every time.
I don't care who it is. You show up with the Victory Monday, no matter what it is. Boom, we retweet it. So we're helping to blast it out there.
And I had that Victory Monday mug.
When did you buy that? Like,
I had
Hugh
that
Jackson
mug
era, right?
When we sucked. And I used to be on the verge of tears because I would because
was it Freddie Kitchen sucked or was it Hugh Jackson sucked?
No, I think it was Hugh Jackson sucked because yes, it was Hugh Jackson sucked because I mean, you know me, I mean, you know, and Aaron Rodgers was talking about, you know, football's a romantic game, and it really is, and it is for me. And as you know, I live for this shit. So I literally would be so sad because I would every morning on a Monday I would open up the cupboard.
You see it,
and I'd grab I'd grab my mug, but I strategically, when I bought that mug, I placed it like right next to my go-to mug, right, every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'd have like a meltdown. Like I'd open the thing and I'd be like, oh yeah, it would be nice if like we could win one game and I could like grab this mug. And I'm telling you, I must have had that mug. I mean, I had that mug during the 4 for 31 streak. I mean, I never saw it.
Yeah, I remember telling my wife about it. Because she gets excited. My wife is usually the one who's drinking out of it. I almost never drink out of it because I do iced coffee, right?
Yeah.
And but my wife was always like, "Oh, I get the Victory Monday mug tomorrow." Like she gets really excited about it.
Yeah.
And then when she takes it out and she always puts it right in front of the coffee maker, and then it reminds me to take the picture and put it out there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about my dad, my wife, and my mom were actually watching the Browns game this weekend. And we were talking about it. And I was like, because she was like, where did this Victory Monday mug come from? I'm like, well, Rustano had it like for a while. And back in like Freddie Kitchens, because when we first met was during the Freddie Kitchens era. And actually, you know what? Well, I have to go back now. Was it?
No, we've known each other since the U era.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I think it was Hugh, and it was it was Greg Williams. It was that year.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was like it was that, and I was like, I remember because we didn't win that many games, but it was like more than usual.
Yeah. And I had the mug the year previous.
Yeah. And so I remember that, and I remember you had it, and I was like, I kept telling my wife, I was like, I really want to buy this, but I was also like,
why?
We still don't win. We still don't win a lot. So I'm gonna have
you would have stared at it like me.
Yeah, I was like, I'd celebrate more like regular national holidays than I do sometimes seasons that we win games in for the Browns. So I was like, I don't know if I want to invest the $14 plus but right now, get this. Shipping for the Victory Monday mug, and I confirmed this with the owners of Cleveland Clothing Co.
Yeah.
It's $11.66 to ship a mug. A $14 mug.
You know what? You want to laugh? My particular buy that I made the other day, even though it was 3 items, that was $14 in shipping.
Yeah, they hit you up on that.
It's all going up. Yeah.
I wish there was a way to offer free shipping, because I would take less money on the product to offer free shipping on that site, but they just don't do it.
Yeah. And it's everywhere. Even NFL Shop used to be $4.99 or whatever. You get 2 items, then it's $8.99. Everything going on with the with the log jams at the ports and stuff. Yeah.
Well, your items, so they're all printed, as soon as you order them. So I'm interested to see how long it takes to get those
I got it said it was shipped.
So you got the Brownie postgame tip, the regular Brownie postgame shirt.
I got the deep fall.
You went deep fall, okay.
Wednesday show.
Okay.
And the special mug.
Oh, and the Mike Rustano mug. The Mike Rustano mug. The Mike Rustano Wednesday show mug.
Yeah. Oh, that's my go-to now. When I drink my beverages.
It'll be the Wednesday. It'll be the Wednesday show mug.
It's in that mug.
This
is like the Tonight Show at this point.
Tonight
special mug.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great. Honestly, we have to make we just need to make a regular like a Wednesday. Actually, you know what? I actually do think the mini Mike The Mini Mike Wednesday show mug will be the official Wednesday show mug.
Yeah.
I think that's what it has to be.
Yeah, I think
And
you're right.
and John
Not just because
Schlegel,
it has me on it.
John says he's offering unauthorized points on dogwoofs.com. Anybody who signs up with dogwoofs.com, John's going to give a whole bunch of points to it to
Nice.
people today. So that's awesome. Squabbling in a happy Keeley household is a 14-3 season. That would be a very happy.
Yeah, it would be.
You know, yeah, just how about just the one loss? I'd be even happier with
Yeah.
that. And that's where it all came from. That's where the Victory Monday, you know, it was kind of the symbol of you're starting off a week happy.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting off a week happy. It's a happy mug.
Yeah.
You know, it just says you're allowed to be happy this week. The Browns won, right? So there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, guys. But if you get to sip coffee out of an orange mug on Monday, then it's like it sets you on a path of positivity. It's like opening a fortune cookie. You know, it's like there's just something good inside. And you're gonna smile. You're gonna be positive that week, and you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna join us on the Wednesday show, and then you're gonna get more and more. So now the cool thing about the Wednesday show is now we are getting over the hump.
Yeah.
And now it's officially into the next playing week, right?
It really is.
We are now into official Vikings territory
Yeah.
at this point. And yeah, so tomorrow, and guys, again, I'll tweet it out. So I'm pretty sure everybody follows me on Twitter, but I'll tweet it out the podcast I'm going to be on tomorrow. It would be great if we had some of our regulars show up on that podcast and give us some support from the Brownie post game family. That'd be great. I would love that, guys. So look out for I'll put a post on here on YouTube, and I'll put a post on Twitter as well with some information about the show I'll be on tomorrow. And yeah, and I think that's it. I think we're good. My wife just got home with my daughter from gymnastics. I'm gonna go say hi.
Nice.
And yeah, we'll go from there. So a big thanks again to dogwoofs.com, John Schlegel, particularly John Schlegel Esquire, Schlegel Law. If you guys happen to have any legal needs in the Columbus, Ohio area, call Jonathan Schlegel. He has read the Constitution and can help you. And then everybody else, Sabo Apparel, those guys are awesome. They're giving out shirts. Cleveland Clothing Co. giving out shirts. Thrive Fantasy, hook it up. Thrive Fantasy as well. Still waiting for their check though. So still waiting for that check from Thrive Fantasy. I think it's coming. I'm still waiting for it. And then we'll see you on Sunday. We are. Any final thoughts, Mike?
No, I think we got a good game. We win, like I said, and then we are on to Los Angeles. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the game, pregame, and hopefully the three of us are laughing it up on the postgame show.
Praying to the football gods.
Yeah.
All righty. Thanks everybody. Go Browns.
See you guys. Go Browns.